everybody. I'm going to wait for some of you people to come in here. And my name is Nicholas Polymenakos. I work behind the scenes here at ISAR Astrology. And I'm going to talk about a Sunday Star Club webinar that we're having here on the 25th with Laura Nalbandian. So I'm going to, let's see here if I can invite Laura. Let's see. Hi, everybody. I'm kind of syncing this up if you're here. There we go. I'm going to invite you if you don't get it. Sometimes it's a little funky. Hi, everybody. Hey.
Hey, I did it.
You did it. It's working. Welcome, Laura Nalbandian.
Thanks, Nicholas Polymenakos.
Yeah, it's always an adventure with this. With doing things like this and going live. So.
Well, it's this is a first. I didn't even know I could do it, and so I have done it, and we are here.
Yeah, and you know it's funny. We didn't talk about what to wear. Like I'm wearing red. You're wearing red.
I
like,
know. I've even got the red glasses. We're doing the red thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know, I think I could say this. First of all, for those watching, thanks for joining us. I work behind the scenes at ISAR, and I help with social media and other things behind the scenes. And Laura and I are here to talk about a webinar that Laura's going to do for our Sunday Star Club here on February 25th, this upcoming Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. It's called Exploring Neptune Transits, okay? So but before I ask you what that is, Laura, something popped up for me.
Okay.
Later today, we're making this video at 2 p.m., 2:11 p.m. Pacific time here on Wednesday. And later tonight, we have the official Venus-Mars conjunction that happens in Aquarius, okay? I have Mars in Aquarius.
I have Venus in Aquarius.
That's right. This is why I mentioned it, because I just remembered this. So, it's not planned, people. This is just, for those people watching or astrologers, this is how it works. You're like, oh, you're surprised, but not surprised.
Not surprised.
So, yeah. So just saying that, I just wanted to point that out. But for those watching and who will be watching later, Laura, you're going to speak on this webinar here Sunday called Exploring Neptune Transits. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Or?
Yes. I was just doing my PowerPoint yesterday, refreshing it, and I have a lot of material, folks, and I am usually very good at planning my time, but I think there's going to be more than I can do, but I'm going to try to make it happen. So we're going to talk about the basic overall function of Neptune and what we're likely overall to be experiencing when Neptune is making contact in our chart. And of course, it's always making contact somewhere. It's in a house somewhere, and then it will at some point maybe making aspects to your chart. So we're going to talk about what does it feel like in general, and what are some of the concepts and issues that will come up under overall Neptune transits. I'm going to bring in aspects. I normally kind of leave that out because I do a very complex system of aspects and phases. But I think what I've done is broken it down into parts that are quite easily presentable without going overboard and diving into the never-ending hole that is seemingly never-ending hole that is phases and aspects. And then we'll talk about how those aspects from Neptune to the natal planet and what those likely can represent. I liken aspects, and interesting enough, we'll be talking about Neptune. I liken aspects to a wave. And so wave function that you can either get ahead of the wave, get on top of the wave, or miss the wave altogether. So often in transits, the faster moving stuff you may miss. And with the heavier transits, you can end up getting smashed and crashed by the waves if you're not paying attention and working to get into the groove of the energy. Another analogy would be trying to jump onto a moving object. If you're not already in motion, jumping onto a moving object can be very difficult. So the whole process is about getting in motion, right? So seeing an astrologer, knowing astrology is all about knowing what's coming up, and so we know what the energies are, and so how do we gear ourselves into that energy so that we're opening ourselves to it so we can move into it, right? And so we can be present and open to what it has to show us. I like to think of the planets by transit and ask the question, what do they want of us, right? Not so much always what's going to happen, because particularly with some of these outer planets, Neptune and Uranus, you really just don't know, right? But we can really get a really very good understanding of the internal mechanics of what the individual is evolving into or what is being called to grow. And so asking the question of what does Neptune want of us is what we're going to talk about in the first part of the lecture, and then detail, as I said, the aspects, and then look at it in potential aspects to planets and houses. And mind you, in 1 hour, there is no way I will get to all planets and all houses. So we're going to have to be judicious or just leave it up to whim and fate as to see which ones we're going to do. But the point is to get you thinking about, no matter what planet or what house Neptune's engaging with, you can figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, and and thank you for saying that, Laura. I think it's interesting when we deal with the outer body planets and our descriptions of them from the many different ways of doing astrology. But Neptune's always the one that never feels like, I feel like so much you could say, and it's almost still it never really congeals together. Like it's still never fully defined. And I think the fact that you're also bringing in a little bit of the aspects, helps put that into some sort of form for those who have a hard time maneuvering Neptune, let's say, and getting to the point where you are, whether you're getting off the wave or jumping off the wave, that you could feel like you're a part of something and not feel swept away per se.
Right. And trust me, when we're dealing with outer planet transits, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, there can feel like there are truly outer forces that are involved. And the more we can be present to what that is, the more we can feel like we're not helpless to the experience. I've dealt with my fair share having planets in Capricorn and Aquarius. I've dealt with my fair share of Neptune conjunctions and oppositions, and I know what those feel like. And there are those places in Neptune transits where you're just in the fog and you're not seeing things. And that's what's supposed to happen. And trying to push beyond that fog is often where we get ourselves in trouble, trying to act when there is no clear path. I think of Neptune. I think of Neptune as like when you're hiking in the mountains, if you hike and a fog bank, a mist or a fog rolls onto the mountain, you are supposed to just sit still, right? You're not supposed to move. Danger could happen. You could walk off the path and get lost. You could trip and fall. There's all kinds of dangers moving in the fog. And so, we're being called to use different parts of our skill set that we're just so used to what we see, what we hear, and so on. And so those all get altered in a way under a Neptune transit. So I'll be talking about that.
Yeah. No, well said, Laura. And for those just joining or watching, Laura is going to be speaking for our Sunday Star Club webinar here on Sunday, February 25th at 3 p.m. Eastern. If for those who are not members, you can actually buy to watch this webinar, and you can see it live, and you also get a link to a recording like a month after to watch it, which is a bargain at $14.99. It's bargain. But the other more interesting thing here is, we launched our website, and it's in progress. But one thing that is solid there is the Star Club archive of the last four years now. There's almost 500 different webinars on there, and our members know about this. Our members are logging in, they're registering for, let's say, for your webinar on Sunday, but they also have access to the 4 years, and members pay $75 a year. And if you think about what that is, I mean, $75 just for close to 500 webinars, along with other things. You won't see anything else like in the astrology world, basically. Whatever it calls you to do, member, non-member, I think this is good timing, your Neptune webinar, Laura, considering I think the liminal space many find themselves in. And I think in our times, we are shown to be like, you got to take a step now, or you have to do this now. But there are times, like you said on the clip when the fog is, can one just chill? Can they just wait? Can they meditate? Can they be in that space and let things come to them and know when the fog lifts, right? So I think your particular webinar on Sunday comes at a great time.
Awesome.
So
yeah. So I look forward to doing this this webinar for ISAR, and I hope that y'all will come and participate in ISAR's fabulous programs. Become a member. It's a great opportunity, and you know, I'm going to get as much information into that hour as I can.
Yes, I know you're going to try to do it, whatever, and people will be there. But yeah, for those watching, if you're interested, you can go to the link in our bio here. You'll see the direct link to the page and the title description and description of this webinar. And those other links there in our Instagram bio, or if you happen to be watching this on YouTube later, I'll have the links down below. Okay, awesome. So Laura, we pulled off. We did Venus Mars here. We did it.
We did it.
Yep.
Thanks, Frank.
Yes, and good to see you, and thank you for joining us.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Bye,
all right, everybody. See you later.